everyone, I'm Sniti, your French educator from Master French with Sniti, and today we are going to start with the question and answers. As you all know that we have completed the reading part and the master key, so today what all is left are the question answers. So let us start with them. But before doing so, let me remind you the name of the chapter is Dans la classe and it is the 5th lesson. Now, as you all know that the meaning of dans la classe, which it means in the class, it means in the class. So now dans la classe means in the class. So as you can see, we all have understood that how does this name refer to the chapter in the reading part of lesson number 5, and today we are going to do the question answers. If you have any doubt related to this chapter or anything that you need to revise, then you can for sure go on my master key or my other playlist in which I have the reading parts. So now let us start with the question number 1. In this slide we have two questions, the first and the second. So the first one is complete avec le verbe avoir, which means complete using the verb avoir or complete with the verb avoir. So now we all know that what is avoir. It means to have. The avoir verb means to have. As you all know that we know what avoir means. So now here are simple sentences given to us as seen in the first part, second part and till the 8th part, and we need to fill with the different conjugations of verb avoir, that means to have. So now you all know that there is one other use of verb avoir, that is to tell the ages. For example, one of you would be 11-year-old, then the sentence I would use is tu as 11 ans, which means you are 11-year-old, and not this won't be used here. It would be s, which is the conjugation for tu in verb avoir. So now let us start reading it with the first part, that is j'ai un stylo, which means I have a pen. Now how do we connect to this sentence with have? How do we connect this sentence with have? So the reason behind this is that I dash a pen. So whenever there is said that I dash a pen, so क्या होगा, तुम्हारे पास पेन है? हाँ है. So there would be have would be used. So the conjugation for have in verb avoir is ai, and you all know that if there is any vowel, then je transforms into j apostrophe. This is the subject pronoun that transforms into j apostrophe. So now let us read the second sentence, that is tu dash de stylo, you dash the pens. So now this is the same sentence, but just the context is different, and the reason behind this is that first I was saying that I have a pen, now I am saying that you have a pen. So therefore the conjugation of our verb for tu will come here. Now let us go on to the next one, that is ila. तो अब मैं इन सेंटेंसेस को करने से पहले आपको ये बता दूँ, आपके लिए ये बहुत ज़्यादा इजी हो जाएगा अगर आप इस ट्रिक को समझ गए कि अगर हम जो ये सब्जेक्ट प्रोनाउन इन सब वर्ड्स के आगे लगा होता है, इससे ही देख के हम पहचान सकते हैं कि कौन सी कॉन्जुगेशन कौन से वर्ब की आएगी. अभी तो उतने सारे अब वर्ब्स आपको बताएंगे नहीं, सिर्फ 3 वर्ब. एक être हो गया, दूसरा हमने avoir आज तो नहीं, मतलब इसी चैप्टर में पढ़ा है, तो उसकी कॉन्जुगेशन जैसे कि हमारे को यहाँ पे लिख रखा है कि वर्ब avoir, तो अभी आपके इजी के लिए वर्ब avoir या फिर être आएगा. आपको पहले ही बता देंगे कि कौन सा वर्ब फिल करना है. And for your easier way, this subject pronoun that would be present there in front of all these sentences will help you to conjugate the verb avoir with them. So now let us go on to the third sentence, that is il dash a leaf, he dash a book. So what does he have? He have a book. So here have is coming, therefore a will become, which is the conjugation of avoir for il. The fourth sentence is that elle a 10 ans, she is dash, she is 10-year-old. Here we have 10, 10 ans. Now as I've already told you that the another use of verb avoir is to tell ages, and here is a quite big example of that one. That is, she is 10-year-old. Now the fifth sentence is that nous avons ces livres. We have these books. So the conjugation will be avons, which is the conjugation for the subject pronoun nous. If we come to the vous part, which is the sixth sentence, vous avez a voiture, which means you have a car. So now all the words that I have written in blue are those which we need to fill in the blanks, and here we need to fill avez, which means to have for whose, you have. Now the seventh sentence is that ils ont un ballon, which means he have a ball. So now do you understood that I said something wrong? Yes. So now that's what I wanted to tell you, that you need to take mistakes out of people to correct them, to make them understand what French is. French तुमको अपने लिए नहीं सीखनी है, पर दूसरों को सही करने के लिए, दूसरों की फ्रेंच को ठीक करने के लिए भी आपको इतने अच्छे से सीखनी है कि आप दूसरों की भी फ्रेंच ठीक कर पाएँ. तो मुझे आपके साथ मैंने ये ट्रिक की कि आप क्या मेरी ट्रिक को समझ पाएंगे. और हाँ, आप लोगों ने शायद समझ ली होगी, और जिन्होंने नहीं तो कोई नहीं, अगली बार ही समझ लेना. तो मैंने यहाँ पे बोला he have a ball. So how would it be he जब subject pronoun is ils, they have a ball. So now you understood that this sentence means they have a ball. Now the eighth one is elles ont a bicyclette. On is the subject pronoun, not subject pronoun, but the conjugation of verb avoir, that means to have. She have a bicycle, which is elles ont une bicyclette. So now here we have completed the first question, and let us go on to the second question. So now just let us start reading it. In this, lisez ces phrases, which means read the sentences. So here we have the sentences, and we need to read them one by one. So now what they are telling us from this exercise is that they are giving us examples of verb avoir and être, and in the next question they will ask us to fill not just verb avoir but also être. So that would be much more trickier for you. So now before doing this, they would tell you that how do we differentiate between the verb être and the verb avoir. So the first sentence is ils sont and bien. So now you remember the conjugations of verb être? Yeah, you do. So you can make a difference. You can tell how is it different, how sentence is different, how their verbs are different by seeing the conjugations of them. So now here we have the first sentence in which sont, this is the conjugation of verb être. So I won't write the full thing, I will just write être for e, and en, as you can see, it is the conjugation of verb avoir, so I'll write a. In this we again have sont, which is the conjugation of verb être, and en, which we see here, is a conjugation of verb avoir. So now let us understand these sentences one by one. The first one is ils sont indiens, which means they are Indian. It is a nationality. Now let us go on to the next one, that is ils ont un ballon. They have a ball. So now what verb do we use in this sentence? We would for sure use verb avoir, as this sentence tells us that someone has something. They all have something. So now the third sentence is elles sont intelligentes. She is intelligent. So they're telling us that that person is to be intelligent. That person is being intelligent. So the verb être means to be, and here they are telling that that person is being intelligent. So sont will come here. And why only sont? As because here we have an s at the ending of the subject pronoun l, which is in the plural form. So ELLES is in plural, And if we see to the singular form, let me write it, yeah, singular form, it would be ELLE. So this would be just this. But when we come to the plural, S is added to it. And it is the same case with the masculine form, that is masculine singular subject pronoun, that is ill. And if we see to the plural masculine form of ill, it would be ills. So S is added here. You can see S is added to both of them. So now the fourth sentence and the last sentence of this question is that elles ont 12 ans, which means that she is 12-year-old. Now you remember that the another use of verb avoir means to tell the ages. So here we have an example of it, that she is 12-year-old. 12 means 12. 1, 2, 12-year-old. And here we also had an example where it is that, yeah, here at the fourth question, that she is 10-year-old. So 10, these means 10 and those means 12. So now here we are at the question number 2, B part, that is écoutez les phrases, répétez et écrivez. Now what does this sentence mean? It basically means that listen the sentence, repeat and then write. So now instead of writing, I have just put a tick in front of the marks that are in front of this table, the division between this table. First is for ils or elles sont, which is a conjugation of verb être, and the next one is for ils and elles ont, which is the conjugation for verb avoir. The conjugation for verb être and avoir. So we need to take that which sentence to refer and has the conjugation of this part or the conjugation of avoir. So now instead of writing the same sentence once again and again, I have just put a tick, and it's your choice that you can also do the same or you can write it in your book. So now the first one is having the être conjugation, that is ils or elles sont. Now the next one is also having the same conjugation for sont, and the third one does not have the same conjugation. It has the conjugation of verb avoir, that is ont. The fourth one is having the conjugation for sont, which is the verb être conjugation, and the fifth one is having the conjugation of ont, which is an avoir conjugation. And the sixth one is also the same, and here we have completed the question number 2, B part, and let us go on to the question number 3. So now here we are at the third question, which is complétez avec le verbe avoir ou être, which means complete using the verb avoir or the verb être. Être means to be. I will write under them so that you would remember them. It means to be, and you all know what avoir means. It also means to, but it means to have. To, my bad. Yeah, to have. So here we have the meaning of both of them, and we need to use them one by one. So first I will tell you, and we need to understand what is the context of the sentence, what is it trying to say, and then we'll fill with the suitable verb. For example, we have je dash and viens, which means I dash Indian. So what is that person? It is Indian, so I am Indian. So therefore être would be used here. So now first, before reading all these sentences, let me tell you the uses with some example. First comes avoir. It means to have, which is, you can say that that person have something. It could be a pen, pencil, or anything or any object in the world. Like she have this pen, like I have this thing. So therefore avoir comes in the place. Now next example that we have for avoir, the use is, it is used to tell the ages. Like for example, she is 12-year-old or he is 9-year-old. They are 19-year-old. So for example, avoir is used. Now if we see to the verb être, it means to be. So here to be is that person is being something. Either it is in the first person, second person, or third person. For example, I am. So I am being something. I am Indian. So I am being Indian. And for the next example could be you are Italian, or you are, for example, you are the professor. So that person is being the professor. So now anything that is trying to be one thing is for the example of verb être. Now let us read the sentences one by one. The first one is je dash and ya. Je suis and ya, I am Indian. Then we have je dash 20 ans. J'ai 20 ans, which means I am 20 years old. Now the next sentence is what? Vous êtes professeur. You are professor. And why is the person saying that this is the one standing in front of him is the professor? The reason is given here, that is you have a book. So vous avez un livre. Now the next one is ce sont des garçons. This is the boy. These are the boys. So now here we have the next sentence, that is ils ont un ballon. They have a ball. So now first we have it is that they are boys. So now here s will be also there. They are boys. And then we have the next one, that is they have a ball. Now the fourth sentence is that c'est un fleur. This is a flower. So is being used here. So it is être. And if we see the next sentence just behind it, that is elle a une fleur. She have a flower. So now here we have the sixth one, that is nous sommes français. So now why have I used some here? We dash French. So what are we? We are French. So therefore some will become. Now if we see to the next sentence, nous dash des livres. We dash the books. We have the books. So avoir will come. And the seventh sentence says that il est anglais. He is English. So now the next one we have in at the side of it, it is il a quel âge. Il a quel âge. What is his age? My bad, I just rubbed it out. Yeah. So what is his age? Now the eighth sentence that we here have is that elles sont petites. She is small. So why is sont used here? She dash small. So here that person is being small. Therefore sont will come here. And then we have the next one, that is elles dash des livres. She dash the books. She have the books. So on will come here. So here we understood that how can we use the different uses of verb avoir, and how to use verb être, and how to use both of them collectively, and how to choose between verbs. So now here we have completed the question number 3, and let us go on to the question number 4. So now here we are at the fourth question, and let us start reading it. Completez solo l'exemple donné, which means complete using the given example. So now before reading anything or understanding everything, we first need to know that what is this question trying to teach us. So the topic that is here is how to introduce. How to introduce oneself or someone or someone else. I'll dash it one else. So now this is the main topic that we need to remember, that what this question is trying to teach us is how to introduce oneself. So we have learned the same topic in the lesson number 5, which is dans la classe. But what is new in this question? It is that how to introduce oneself or someone else in a short sentences. So here we will follow a same pattern, that is in the first sentence we'll tell the name of the person, in the second sentence we'll tell the age, and in the third sentence we'll describe the person using a small adjective. So we all have also learned the adjective, we all have also learned the verb avoir, and how to introduce someone or ourselves. So here we are going to mix and match all those things that we have learned, and going to fill the sentences, the blocks that I have made here, and fill them with the blue pen. So we need to fill them one by one. So let us start reading with the example, that is, il s'appelle Paul, il a 12 ans, il est petit. So the first sentence is il s'appelle Paul. It means that his name is Paul. So here I have written this word, this P letter, in capital, and I have written it with the red. So why is this so? Whenever we are using anything, any proper noun in a sentence, we start it with a capital letter. This is the same in English and also in French. So we'll take the name of anything, any animal, place, or any proper noun. We'll name it as the capital letter. So now the second sentence is that il a 12 ans, he is 12-year-old. Then we have the next one, that is il est petit, he is small. So now here we have understood how to introduce and how do we need to fill these, and now let us go on to the next one. So now we have elle dash an, which means she dash an. So what is she? Her name is An. Her name is An. So elle s'appelle An. Then we have the next sentence, that is elle dash 13 ans. She dash 13-year-old. So what is she? She is 13-year-old. You all know that another use of verb avoir is to tell age. So avoir, here we have avoir verb. Another first use is to mean to have, and the second use is to tell age. To tell age. So now here we are using the same and to telling age. So now the third sentence is that L dash P dash. So now what do we understand by P written here? Here we have the sentence il est petit. So here we are going to use the same adjective here. For we first say elle est petit. She is small. So now let us go on to the next one, that is elles s'appellent Julie et Anne, which means their name is Julie and Anne. What is their age? Here their age is elles ont 12 ans. Their age is 12-year-old. Then we have the next sentence, that is elle est petit. Elles est petit, which means that they are small. Now the next sentence we have is il s'appelle Bernard. Il s'appelle Bernard, which means that his name is Bernard. Then we have the next sentence, that is il a. What is this? You tell me. You first need to understand what is this. I have told you in the chapter number 2. You need to remember it. Now here tick tick 1, tick tick 2, tick tick 3, and let the answer come. This is D-I-X, D-Zui, H-U-I-T, D-Zui, which means 18-year-old. So now that was a small assessment that I was taking for yours, that you remember what I have told you, all the topics, and yes you do. And those who haven't remembered this thing, then no problem, go to the next video, go to the I just said it wrong, go to the above video that I have in this playlist, and I have told you all the numbers there in the lesson number 2. Il a 18 ans, which means he is 18-year-old. Then we have the next one, that is il est grand, he is big. So now first we have this sentence as petit, we need to fill it by ourselves. Then we have this and this, we need to fill them both by ourselves. Now here is another adjective that means big, and now from here onwards in the 4th and 5th part we need to fill that by ourselves, and an example or an hint is given to us that how do we need to fill. Either it is P written or it is G written. For P we'll write it as petit, and for G we'll write it as grand. अब ये आप खुद ही सोचो ना, कोई और एडजेक्टिव जी या फिर पी से शुरू होता है पेती या फिर ग्रॉ के अलावा? तो नहीं, तो वैसे ही हम उसको सोच के यहाँ पे फिल कर सकते हैं. Ils appellent Bernard et Denis, which means that their name is Bernard and Denis. Ils ont these vieux, their age is 18-year-old. Ils sont grands, they are big. Now the fifth part is that elles s'appellent Sophie et Marie. Their name is Sophie and Marie. They are 15-year-old. Elles ont 15 ans. Elle est grand, which means that they are big. So now here we have completed the question number 4 successfully, and bravo, very good, and you all have done it in such a great manner that I'm so proud of you all. So now here we have completed the question number 4. For question number 5 to question number 12, you can go on to my other video of the part 2 question answers of lesson number 5, in which I'll complete them from the question number 5. I hope that you like this video. Do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Bye bye.